तमाम आए हुए मेहमानों और पार्टिसिपेंट को खुशामदीद कहता हूँ इंडस पीपल्स फोरम के इस लॉन्चिंग और कॉन्फ्रेंस के मौके पे ख़ास तौर पे जितने भी प्रामिनेंट दोस्त हैं, सरदार साहब, ज़फ़रुल्लाह साहब, परवेज़ भाई साहब, एतज़ाज़ हसन साहब और सारे दोस्त, क्योंकि हमारे लिए सारे गेस्ट इक्वल हैं और सबके लिए सबको हम आया करते हैं। इंडस पीपल्स फोरम एक ऐसा फोरम है जो सिंध और पाकिस्तान के सोचने वाले लोगों को एक जगह पे जमा करके उनकी ब्रेन स्टॉर्मिंग करे और जितने इश्यूज़ हैं स्टेट को और सोसाइटी को उनके सॉल्यूशन निकाले जाएं और आगे चल के उनको फोर्स किया जाए कि उनको इम्प्लीमेंट किया जाए। तो इस सिलसिले में इंडस पीपल्स फोरम बनाया गया है, उसके कंसेप्ट पेपर और चीज़ें दोस्त पढ़ेंगे। मैं इस कॉन्फ्रेंस को और अपने इनागुरेशन को ओपन करने का करता हूँ ऐलान। मेरे इस आर्टिकल का उन्वान है क्राइसिस ऑफ द स्टेट एंड वायबल फेडरेशन। The Muslim League raised demand for a separate homeland for the Muslim of the subcontinent at Karachi in 1938 after the rejection of 1935 Act imposed by British government, following were the main points of the Pakistan ideology. First, Muslim League rejected 1935 Act because it was federal in its nature. Muslim League was in favor of decentralization of the power. Its basic ideology was for the complete provincial autonomy, strong provinces, and a weak center. Second, on 23rd March 1940, Muslim League presented a historic resolution at Lahore announcing the full autonomous status for all the provinces who will join the new state. Number 3, later Quaid-e-Azam told the correspondent in 1946 that Pakistan will be the federation like the United States of America and Australia. Fourth, Quaid-e-Azam told the nation in his various addresses that Pakistan will not be a theocratic state. All the citizens will enjoy the equal rights without their caste, creed, or religion. Number 5, Quaid-e-Azam told the nation that minorities will enjoy equal rights and there will be no discrimination to any of the minority living in the state of Pakistan. So the Pakistan was created. On the 14th of August 1947, by taking freedom from British Empire. Following were the main observations during the process of creation of Pakistan. First, Pakistan was created in the provinces of the Indus Valley Civilization and the East Bengal. The provinces of UPCP, Bihar, and Assam failed to join Pakistan, where the movement for Pakistan was strong. Second, the idea for Pakistan was that the provinces of the Muslim majority will join Pakistan, while Hindu majority states will join the state of India. There was no idea of migration from anywhere. There was no migration from anywhere in the program of the Muslim League and the Congress. Quaid-e-Azam, when was leaving Delhi for Pakistan, clearly told the Muslims of new state of India that this is your country now, you have to live there. The government of India should protect the rights of the Muslim minority. We shall do the same in Pakistan. Number 3, against the ideology of Quaid, a mass migration took place by passing through a river of blood on the both sides of the divide. Number 4, this main migration shattered the basic fabric of the federating units of Pakistan, especially the province of Sindh. The Hindu population of Sindh was forced driven out by killing and looting in 1948. Before this, there was a religious harmony in Sindh due to its long history of the Sufism. The properties evacuated by Hindus were allotted to the immigrants, including those were purchased by Sindhi Muslims from the Sindhi Hindus. Sindhi Muslims were banned to purchase any estate or agricultural land. Even the Muslim lands which were mortgaged by Hindus were snatched. The Sindhi nation was deprived of their land and big cities and also the demographic superiority. When the Chief Minister Ayub Khoro objected, he was removed and a case was initiated against him by then Prime Minister Liaquat Ali Khan. The Sindhi Muslim population, which had struggled more than any population of the provinces of the present Pakistan, was thrown out of any representation of the newly formed state. The leaders of the Muslim League, like G.M. Said, were not able to show their face to the peoples as they could not fulfill the promises which they made during the struggle for Pakistan. Same was at the East Bengal and other small provinces. Then is the Pakistan ideology was killed in the infancy. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the father of the nation, died on 11 September 1948 in mysterious conditions. The last event Quaid-e-Azam attended was the inauguration of the State Bank of Pakistan on 1 July 1948, when he was sent to a hill station of Ziyarat in Balochistan, where he lived like a solitary confinement. Then he was brought for further treatment at Karachi, but he died helplessly on the way to the city from the Maripur Air Base at Mohajir camp, when his ambulance went out of order. No minister or any government official had gone to receive head of the state and the father of the nation. His death in such condition is still a mystery. He enjoyed only 10 months and 18 working days and 1 year and 27 days of his life. I can't say that this death was a natural one or a conspiracy, but events followed by this death were certainly against the ideology of Pakistan. Number 2, on 12th March 1949, an objective resolution was passed in the leadership of Liaquat Ali Khan, in which Pakistan was declared a theocratic state, and it was told that sovereignty belongs to Allah. Quaid-e-Azam was against the theocratic state, and he had told clearly that sovereignty belongs to the people. This resolution killed the ideology of Pakistan in its infancy. Number 3, objective resolutions also protected 1935 Act, thus establishing a strong central government and a dead provinces. Muslim League had struggled against the 95-30 Act, and it was a strong supporter of the provincial autonomy. Thus, total working and shape of the Pakistan ideology was shattered. Number 5, the democracy was prevented to born by the inherited establishment of Indian origin of bureaucracy with the help of military leadership. The state was controlled by the bureaucracy which came from India. As they were in a minority, they were fearing that democracy will completely deprive them of powers which they were enjoying in the autocracy. Therefore, they made a nexus with then military leadership to make a permanent establishment to enjoy power forever. In this nexus, military was a junior partner, as they had no experience of running the state up to when Ayub Khan took power in 1958. After that, military behaved as the dominant partner. Number 6, state versus the nation. The existence of the historical nation who jointly made Pakistan was denied. The historical and indigenous population was declared anti-Islam and anti-Pakistan. These historical nations were pushed to the wall. A strong center was established. Languages of the historical 5 nations were put into the dustbin, and a utopian nation was imagined on the basis of religion, which was only in the air, while on the surface were 5 historical nations: Bengali, Punjabi, Sindhi, Pashtun, and Balochi. The state was superimposed upon the whole indigenous and historical population of the country. The state machinery was set against the nation of Pakistan, which is still working in the same fashion. This anti-people mode of the establishment is still working robustly and has proved fatal for the creation of a modern, viable, strong welfare state. Then is the result of killing the basic ideology. Killing of the basic ideology proved fatal to build a viable progress and modern state. The present scenario of the Pakistan is the direct result of the killing of that basic ideology. We will describe the results we got due to this act of destroying the ideology. First, rise of fundamentalism, terrorism all over the country, separatist movement in Balochistan, a strong national movement in Sindh, frustration, fear, and chaos all over Pakistan, economic decline, pan-Islamism in our sensitive institutions, disrespect in the community of nations. Our neighboring states, China, become world's second largest economy and military power. India got a robust economy and status of regional power, while we are still facing vulnerability and chaos. Tenth, Pakistan is called as the failed and dysfunctional state at various levels of the community of the nations. What we lost due to this ideology, due to the state and the people gap, we lost more than half of the country. 5 wars were fought and all were lost. In the beginning, the governments in Pakistan were so frequently changed that Nehru was quoted to say that he is not changing his dhoti while the government in Pakistan is changed. Killing of Bhutto and the Bugti was very unnecessary for the state of Pakistan. Due to constant autocracy, democracy did not develop. Status of economy is fragile. Foreign policy is still of a neo-colonial state. Still, we could not build our state, our strong state. Then, what we should do for a viable federation? During last 62 years, we could not build the state, and we will never if we don't change. If we want to make Pakistan a viable federation for our future generations and earn respect in the community of nations, then we should reform or restructure state of Pakistan and adopt the following policies. Number 1, the promotion of autonomy should be given to remaining 4 federating units according to 1940 resolution, having only 4 subjects to the center. Second, existence of 4 nations must be accepted, and Pakistan must be declared a multinational state which jointly make Pakistani nation. 3, all the major languages of the historical nations should be made national languages of the state. Ownership of the provinces and their resources should be accepted. Pakistan should be brought back to welfare state rather than a security state. The gap between the state establishment and the people must be narrowed down and abolished. State should never be imposed upon the peoples. Pakistan should be for all of its citizens and not merely for a group of vested interests. Pakistan must be declared a secular democratic republic where all the citizens must be treated equal without determining their caste, creed, or religion. Religious fundamentalism and terrorism in its all forms, including urban terrorism, should be crushed. Remove completely idea of pan-Islamism from our various state and public institutions. Radically change the curriculum from fundamentalist approach to the modern scientific progressive approach. We should focus on history and culture of our own land and not that of India and the Middle East. Education, health, environment, women and children rights should be given first priority. State of Pakistan should be built on a historical, economic, and strategic joint interest of the 4 historical nations of Pakistan who have joint history of 8,000 years of human and civilization, evolution and development. Before coming of Muhammad bin Qasim in 712 AD, more or less the same boundaries of present Pakistan were in existence as the state of Sindh, a great empire of that times which was scattered from the port of Surat to Kashmir, including Sindh, Punjab, Balochistan, major parts of NWFP, and most parts of the present India, and some parts of the present India. We should revive that great state of Indus civilization. If we could do it, no one can prevent our survival and journey in the future as the vibrant state of peace and progress. Thanks.